Ladies and gentlemen, fear, it's something we all face. It's that voice in your head that says you can't do it. It's too dangerous. What if you fail? But let me tell you something. Fear isn't your enemy. Fear is your compass. It points you toward the things that matter most. When I was hanging off the Burj Khalifa in Mission Impossible Ghost Protocol, I wasn't fearless. I was terrified, but I knew that if I didn't face that fear, I'd never know what I was truly capable of. And that's the thing about greatness. It doesn't come from playing it safe. It comes from looking fear in the eye and saying, not today. I remember when I was just starting out in Hollywood. I was a kid from Syracuse with a dream. People told me I wasn't tall enough, I wasn't good enough, I wasn't enough. But I didn't let that fear of failure stop me. I ran toward the fire. I trained harder, I worked longer, and I believed in myself even when no one else did. Takes a deep breath, channels that signature Tom Cruise intensity, and leans in. Fear, it's that thing that grabs you by the throat when you're standing on the edge of something big. It's the voice in your head that whispers, what if you fall? What if you fail? What if you're not good enough? I've been there. I've felt it, whether it's standing on the edge of the Burj Khalifa, 2,700 feet above the ground, or staring at a script that demands everything I've got. Fear doesn't discriminate. But here's the thing. Fear isn't the enemy. It's the gateway. It's the signal that you're about to do something that matters. Let me take you back to Mission Impossible Ghost Protocol. That scene where I'm scaling the tallest building in the world. Yeah, that wasn't just a stunt. That was a moment where fear and I had a conversation. I could have said no. I could have let the stunt team handle it, but I didn't. Why? Because I knew that if I didn't face that fear, I'd regret it for the rest of my life. Fear isn't there to stop you. It's there to test you. It's there to see if you're serious about what you're doing. And when you look it in the eye and say, I'm doing this anyway, that's when you start to change. But it's not just about big dramatic moments. Fear shows up in the small things too. It's in the first audition, the first pitch, the first step toward a dream that feels too big to hold. I remember when I was starting out in Hollywood. I was just a kid with a dream and a whole lot of doubt. People told me I wasn't tall enough. I wasn't handsome enough. I wasn't enough. And for a moment, I believed them. But then I realized something. Fear doesn't get to write my story. I do. So how do you face fear head on? First, you acknowledge it. You don't pretend it's not there. You don't brush it under the rug. You look it in the eye and say, I see you. Then you take a step forward. Just one step. It doesn't have to be a leap. It doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be a step. And then another, and another, and then another. And then a man. And then a decision. Here's the secret. Fear doesn't go away. You don't wake up one day and suddenly feel invincible. You just get better at using it. You learn to let it fuel you instead of paralyze you. You learn to see it as a sign that you're on the right track. Because if it doesn't scare you, it's not worth doing. Think about it. Every great moment in your life, every breakthrough, every victory, every moment that takes your breath away, it's on the other side of fear. That's where the magic happens. That's where you find out what you're really made of. You want to know what separates the best from the rest? It's not talent. It's not luck. It's not even charisma. It's work. Hard, relentless, uncompromising work. When people see me hanging off the side of a plane or sprinting across rooftops, they think, wow, he's fearless. But let me tell you something. Those moments aren't about fearlessness. They're about preparation. They're about training harder than anyone else, pushing yourself further than you thought possible, and refusing to settle for anything less than excellence. I remember when we were filming Top Gun Maverick, the flying sequences weren't just about looking cool on camera. They were about precision, skill, and pushing the limits of what we thought we could do. I spent months training with the best pilots in the world. I studied, I practiced, I pushed myself until I could handle the G-forces, the maneuvers, the intensity of it all. And even then, it wasn't easy. There were days when I thought, can I really do this? But I didn't stop. I couldn't stop because I knew that if I didn't give it everything I had, I'd be letting down the team, the story, and most importantly, myself. That's the thing about greatness. It doesn't come from shortcuts. It doesn't come from half-hearted effort. It comes from showing up day after day and putting in the work even when no one's watching, even when it hurts. Even when it feels like you're not making progress, you keep going. Let me break it down for you. Training harder than anyone else isn't just about physical endurance. It's about mental toughness. It's about discipline. It's about waking up at 4 a.m. when the rest of the world is asleep and saying, this is my time. It's about staying late when everyone else has gone home and saying, I'm not done yet. It's about pushing through the pain, the doubt, the exhaustion, and knowing that every drop of sweat, every sore muscle, every moment of sacrifice is bringing you closer to your goal. I'll give you an example. When I was preparing for Mission Impossible Fallout, I had to learn how to do a halo jump, a high altitude, low opening skydive. It's one of the most dangerous stunts you can do. And I didn't just do it once. I did it over and over and over again until it was second nature. Why? Because I knew that if I didn't train harder than anyone else, I wouldn't just be risking my own life, I'd be risking the entire film. Training harder than anyone else isn't just about the big moments, it's about the small ones too. It's about the hours you spend rehearsing a single line until it's perfect. It's about the days you spend researching a role until you understand it inside and out. It's about the nights you spend studying, practicing, and pushing yourself to be better. And let me tell you something, it's worth it. Every drop of sweat, every moment of doubt, every ounce of effort, because when you step onto that set, onto that stage, into that moment, you know you've done everything you can to be ready, and that's when you can truly shine. So if you're sitting there thinking, can I really do this? The answer is yes, but you've got to be willing to put in the work. You've got to be willing to train harder than anyone else. You've got to be willing to push yourself further than you ever thought possible. Because here's the truth, greatness isn't given, it's earned. And the only way to earn it is to work for it. So get out there and show the world what you're made of. You ever feel like you've hit a wall? Like you've done everything you can and there's nowhere left to go? Let me tell you something, that wall isn't the end, it's the beginning. Because greatness isn't a destination, it's a journey. And the moment you stop improving, the moment you stop pushing yourself to be better, is the moment you stop growing. I've been in this business for decades. I've done stunts that make people's jaws drop, roles that have defined careers, and films that have broken records. But here's the thing, I'm not done, not even close. Every day, I wake up asking myself, how can I be better? How can I push further? How can I take this to the next level? Because complacency, that's the enemy. That's the thing that kills dreams, that stifles potential, that keeps you from becoming who you're meant to be. Let me take you back to Mission Impossible Fallout. That helicopter chase scene, the one where I'm flying through narrow canyons, spinning, diving, and pulling off maneuvers that even experienced pilots thought were insane, that didn't happen overnight. It took months of training, months of learning, practicing, failing, and getting back up again. And even then, I wasn't satisfied. I kept pushing. I kept asking, how can I make this better? How can I make this more real, more intense, more unforgettable? But here's the thing, it's not just about the big moments. It's about the small ones too. It's about the hours you spend rehearsing a single line until it's perfect. It's about the days you spend researching a role until you understand it inside and out. It's about the nights you spend studying, practicing, and pushing yourself to be better. I'll give you an example. When I was preparing for Collateral, I didn't just show up on set and start playing a hitman. I spent months studying. I learned how to handle weapons, how to move, how to think like someone who lives in that world. And even then, I wasn't done. I kept refining, kept tweaking, kept pushing until it felt real. Because that's the thing about improvement. It's never finished. There's always another level. There's always another step. And it's not just about work. It's about life. It's about constantly asking yourself, how can I be a better person, a better friend, a better partner? It's about looking in the mirror and saying, I'm not done yet. Here's the secret. Improvement isn't about being perfect. It's about being relentless. It's about showing up every day and saying, today, I'm going to be better than I was yesterday. And then doing it again tomorrow, and the next day, and the day after that. So how do you keep improving? It starts with curiosity. It starts with asking questions, seeking out new challenges, and being willing to fail. Because failure isn't the end, it's the beginning. It's how you learn, it's how you grow. And here's the kicker. When you commit to never stop improving, you become unstoppable. You become a force of nature. Because when you're constantly pushing yourself to be better, there's no limit to what you can achieve. So take a look at your life. Where can you improve? What can you do better? What's the next step? And then take it. Don't wait. Don't hesitate. Just go. Because the moment you stop improving is the moment you stop living. And that's not an option. Not for me, not for you, not for anyone who wants to be great. Dreams. We all have them. Big, bold, beautiful dreams that light us up from the inside. But here's the thing. Dreams don't mean a thing if you don't do something about them. You can't just sit there and wait for the perfect moment, the perfect opportunity, the perfect plan. Because guess what? The perfect moment doesn't exist. The perfect moment is now. And if you're not taking action, you're just dreaming. And dreaming, it's not enough. Let me tell you something. I didn't get here by waiting. I didn't get here by playing it safe. I got here by taking risks, by making moves, by saying, screw it, let's do this. When I was 18 years old, I packed my bags, left home, and moved to New York City with nothing but a dream and a whole lot of determination. I didn't have a plan. I didn't have a safety net. All I had was a belief that if I worked hard enough, if I wanted it badly enough, I could make it happen. And I did, but not by sitting around, by taking action. Think about Mission Impossible. Those movies aren't just about daring stunts and high-octane action. They're about taking action. They're about looking at the impossible and saying, let's go. And that's exactly what we do. When we're hanging off the side of a plane or diving into a helicopter stunt, we're not thinking about what could go wrong. We're thinking about what could go right. We're thinking about the mission and we're taking action. But here's the thing. Taking action isn't just about the big dramatic moments. It's about the small ones too. It's about showing up every day, even when it's hard. It's about making the call, sending the email, taking the first step. It's about doing the thing that scares you, the thing that excites you, the thing that moves you closer to your dream. I'll give you an example. When I was preparing for Top Gun Maverick, I didn't just show up on set and start flying. I took action. I trained with the best pilots in the world. I learned how to handle the G-forces, how to maneuver the jet, how to make it look real. And even then, I didn't stop. I kept pushing. I kept taking action because I knew that if I didn't, I'd be letting down the team, the story, and most importantly, myself. But here's the kicker. Taking action isn't just about work. It's about life. It's about saying yes to the things that matter. It's about showing up for the people you love. It's about chasing the dreams that light you up. So how do you start taking action? It starts with a decision. A single, powerful decision to stop waiting and start doing. To stop dreaming and start living. To stop making excuses and start making moves. And here's the secret. When you take action, you create momentum. You create energy. You create possibility. Because every step you take, no matter how small, brings you closer to your dream. So what are you waiting for? What's the thing you've been dreaming about? What's the step you've been afraid to take? And what's stopping you from taking it right now? You ever feel like just going through the motions? Like you're doing the work, putting in the hours, but something's missing? Let me tell you something. It's not about the work. It's about the why. It's about the mission, the purpose, the thing that gets you out of bed in the morning and keeps you going when everything in you wants to quit. When I'm filming a movie, it's not just about making a blockbuster or breaking box office records. It's about telling a story that matters. It's about creating something that resonates, that inspires, that makes people feel something. Whether it's Top Gun, Maverick, or Mission Impossible, every film is a mission. And I don't just mean the stunts or the action sequences. I mean the heart of it, the reason it exists. Let me take you back to Jerry Maguire. That movie wasn't just about sports or romance. It was about connection. It was about finding your purpose and fighting for it. And when I stepped into that role, I didn't just memorize lines. I believed in the mission. I believed in Jerry's journey, his struggle, his passion, his desire to make a difference. And that belief, it's what made the performance real. It's what made it matter. But here's the thing. Believing in the mission isn't just for actors or filmmakers. It's for everyone. Whether you're a teacher, an entrepreneur, a scientist, or an artist, you've got to believe in what you're doing. You've got to feel it in your bones. Because when you believe in the mission, everything changes. The long hours don't feel so long. The setbacks don't feel so crushing. The challenges, they become opportunities. I'll give you an example. When we were filming Mission Impossible Rogue Nation, there's a scene where I'm hanging off the side of an airplane as it takes off. Now, on paper, that sounds insane. And trust me, it was. But I didn't do it for the thrill. I didn't do it for the headlines. I did it because I believed in the mission. I believed in giving the audience an experience they'd never forget. I believed in pushing the boundaries of what's possible. And that belief, it's what got me through the fear, the exhaustion, the doubt. But here's the kicker. Believing in the mission isn't just about the big moments. It's about the small ones too. It's about showing up every day even when it's hard. It's about staying true to your vision even when people doubt you. It's about remembering why you started in the first place. Let me tell you something. When you believe in the mission, you become unstoppable. You become a force in nature. Because when you're driven by purpose, by passion, by something bigger than yourself, there's nothing you can't. So ask yourself, what's your mission? What's the thing that gets you out of bed in the morning? What's the reason you do what you do? And if you don't have an answer, find one. Because once you believe in the mission, once you feel it in your soul, everything changes. And here's the best part. When you believe in the mission, you inspire others to believe too. You become a leader, a trailblazer, someone who doesn't just talk about change, but makes it happen. So whatever you're doing, wherever you're going, believe in the mission. Believe in it with everything you've got. Because when you do, you'll find that the work isn't just work. It's a calling. And the journey, it's not just a journey. It's an adventure. You ever notice how the best moments in life, the ones that leave you breathless, the ones that change everything, are never solo acts? They're team efforts. They're the result of people coming together, pushing each other, and believing in something bigger than themselves. That's the power of surrounding yourself with the best. Let me take you behind the scenes for a second. When you see me hanging off a cliff, sprinting across rooftops, or flying a fighter jet, it's not just me. It's a team. It's the stunt coordinators, the pilots, the directors, the crew, every single person who shows up and gives it their all. And here's the thing. I don't just work with anyone. I work with the best. Because when you're pushing boundaries, when you're trying to create something extraordinary, you need people who are just as committed, just as passionate, just as relentless as you are. Take Mission Impossible, for example. Those movies aren't just about me running and jumping. They're about a team of people who are willing to go to the edge and back to make something unforgettable. And it's not just about skill, it's about trust. When I'm hanging off the side of a plane or diving into a helicopter stunt, I'm trusting my team with my life, literally. And that trust, it's earned. It's built through hours of preparation, through shared goals, through a mutual belief in the mission. But here's the thing. Surrounding yourself with the best isn't just about finding people who are good at what they do. It's about finding people who challenge you, people who push you to be better, people who aren't afraid to tell you when you're wrong or when you need to step it up. Because greatness isn't a solo journey. It's a team sport. I'll give you an example. When I was preparing for Top Gun Maverick, I didn't just show up on set and start flying. I trained with the best pilots in the world. I learned from them. I pushed myself to keep up with them. And in the process, I became better, not just as an actor, but as a person. Because when you surround yourself with people who are at the top of their game, it raises yours. And it's not just about work, it's about life. The people you surround yourself with shape who you are. They influence your mindset, your attitude, your approach to challenges. If you're surrounded by people who settle, who cut corners, who don't believe in the mission, guess what? You're going to start doing the same. But if you're surrounded by people who strive for excellence, who push boundaries, who believe in the impossible, that's when magic happens. So how do you find the best? It starts with you. It starts with being the kind of person who attracts excellence. It starts with showing up, giving your all, and being someone others want to work with. And then you seek out the people who inspire you, the ones who make you think, I want to be like them, the ones who push you to be better. And here's the secret. When you surround yourself with the best, you don't just achieve greatness, you create it. Together, you become part of something bigger than yourself, something that lasts, something that matters. So take a look around you. Who's on your team? Who's pushing you to be better? Who's challenging you to go further? If you don't like the answer, change it. Find the people who believe in the mission as much as you do. Find the people who make you better. Because when you surround yourself with the best, there's nothing you can't do.